So hi, in this tutorial today we are going to be making a thumbnail like Saint does. Actually, I make the thumbnails for Saint, but this tutorial is basically just me showing how I do it. So like as you can see, I have a bunch of like this one's terrible, but we don't talk about it. So the way of doing those thumbnails is pretty simple. You basically just load up your images. So in this case, I have Saint himself send me photos of in-game Rainbow Six Siege gameplay. So example, here we have the two photos. I'm just going to be opening a new project, right? And we're going to create a 1920 by 1080p 300 res photo. Make sure it's 8-bit RGB color, or you can actually switch this to 16. It doesn't actually matter. So here we have the photo. The first thing we're going to do is select the one I like. So this one, I like this. I'm going to use it here. So just maintain Alt and Shift, and then you just move this until it reaches the edges, right? Then you're going to move up until you see the bottom UI, which in this case I don't want this, so I'm just going to crop below it and then just move this again on the side, press enter, so this is just going to stick here. Then you're going to use the select tool. Here you have the object selection tool, which you can basically use to select this gun here. So yeah, you basically just select this. Photoshop is going to try selecting as much as it can, but it always does fuck up. There's multiple ways of doing this. You can use the background eraser tool, or you can use the selection tool here. So you're going to go in quick object selection tool or a quick select tool, and you're going to go in minus. So minus is going to remove exactly what you want to remove. So example, I could select here the mountains, which I do not want to be part of this selection. So I don't want to select the mountains, and I don't want to select this part of favela. And then we're going to zoom in because I want to select specifically the weapon itself. Here you have the laser sight, so I'm just going to select this, and I'm going to make it sure that it selects everything around it. So this is the guardrail, you have some part of the weapon, you have the scope here, and you have also the hand, which is really important. So now that everything is selected, I'm just gonna click the unselection tool, so the negative selection tool, reduce the size because I'm doing some small adjustments, so just removing some of the spots here. This is not part of the selection. I don't want to select this part, and I want to select this here. And then you can keep tweaking those things until you get what exactly you want. So example, in this case, I'm going to keep selecting this because I want to keep this part of the hand. I want to keep this part of the laser sight, you know. What else? I mean, yeah, everything is pretty much selected. Maybe unselect this here, and then I think this is pretty much what I need. So then you're gonna do Control C, Control Shift V, which is gonna stick it's gonna duplicate actually the frame itself, the image, and it's gonna leave it at the same position as it is. So it's not gonna move it like on the side here, because most of the time Photoshop does that. So once you got this laid down, what you can do is then we'll apply the effects I'm going to show you later. But the thing is, for this specific video, what we're going to do is basically select this and then cut it. So we're going to cut it here, and we are going to be selecting this here because we want the reload animation to be the actual thing we want to select. So same thing as earlier, you basically just do quick selection, select this, which here it is. It's probably gonna select it wrong, but hopefully, okay, it did select it kind of right. We're gonna add more to it because I want to have the mag here, and I want to have most of the stuff here. So I'm just gonna remove part of like the environment, which is being selected for some reason. So here, as you can see, we have the gun selected, yeah, and the mag selected. So now we can just do Control C and then go here back to the original project and just do Control Shift V, which is going to give us this. So then we just apply these here. Specifically here, I'm just going to cut off once again because there's the UI, and then we are going to be applying blur to these two. So I'm just gonna we're gonna be doing Control E to merge those layers. So we have the original image and we have the weapon animation I want to use. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is basically select this and do filter and then we're gonna do a radial blur. So radial blur in zoom mode, best quality. The amount is 50 because yeah, 100 is too much and 50 is just like it's just enough. So what it's gonna do is basically create some sort of blur around, and it's gonna specifically stop the blur in the middle here because this is the selection part of the image itself. If I had moved it here, it was gonna be like blurring in the middle here. But in this case, since the weapon's gonna be like close here, I just don't want to do this. So we have this selected. So now you have your image with the actual weapon itself and the background. So now the next step is going to be adding text. So in this case, I'm going to be texting Saint himself and just ask him, what's the text? That's it. Now we wait because it's probably going to take a while to respond, or not, because we're in a call right now and he's probably not answering. Yeah, they're not here. So let's pretend there's some text. We're gonna write killing champs, because fuck, this is the kind of title you get it for. Just put it in the middle here for now. I'm gonna wait till we get actual text. And then here, as you can see, we have the image and the rest. So what I'm gonna be doing is a stupid fucking trick that I learned, but basically you just select those two here. You're gonna create a group by actually select those three. Create a group by selecting the folder here down, and then you're clicking here. So you have a group with all your things. We're gonna do adjustment and select this one, which is kind of cool, not gonna lie, but yeah, it just makes everything more cinematic because it's quite literally what it does. But in a different way, it just makes it like a bit more yeah, like vibrant and all. You can just up the brightness, maybe reduce the contrast depending on what you want. In this case, I'm just gonna be doing this. So brightness is gonna be 27 and contrast 59, which let's just do for the sake of this 60 and this 30. So 30, 60 is gonna be the numbers. And then the next step is kind of funny. You're gonna go here. You have your gun layer, which is basically just the weapon. You're gonna be right clicking and clicking blending option. This is gonna pop up this window, which then you have to go to outer glow, which is here specifically, and you have a glow here that appears, right? You have control over the opacity, which is how much it's basically, if you make music, it's basically the mix. So how much do you want? Do you want all of it or none of it? So I can mess with the opacity, which I'm gonna keep to 100. And then you have the spread, which is how far is it actually spreading from the middle point. So spread 100 means the distance here, which is the size, is always going to be maximum. Which example, in this case, I want this to be the size, and then the spread can be reduced to something like, I don't know, 10. So we're going to do 10, and this is going to be 55. This is going to be our number. So this is going to be our number for now. So we're going to do this. We have the selected. In this specific case, I want the weapon to be slightly more bright, so I'm just going to add a brightness by just selecting the weapon itself and then going in adjustment and selecting brightness, which is going to give me this, which is basically just, yeah, brightness control. So I could just, oh yeah, fuck, I forgot about that part. So you have to maintain Alt and then click on the brightness, not exactly on it, but between brightness and the layer itself. What it's gonna do is basically set that this brightness effect is only applied to the layer below, which in this case is the layer with the weapon. So I can just up the brightness or up the contrast, in which case I'm gonna reduce the contrast and up the brightness by 10, which is reasonable. So I'm probably gonna change it later on anyways. So now we have don't put POV, so 0 player in ranked, so 0.8 player in ranked is our text, which we're gonna click here, click on text, make it appear, select this, paste this. I don't like the fact that it's in not caps, so we're just gonna make it all caps. Why is this not all cap? Player in ranked. So here we have the text. I fucking hate this font, so basically what I'm going to do is select the font that's actually acceptable, which is this one, which I've been using for a while, for 2 reasons. The first one actually being that, yeah, one, it's a custom font that you can actually move and select some specific things, and you're going to see what I'm talking about. and 2, it's actually pretty dope looking. So example, I can modify the weight, which makes it thicker in a way. The width, which is basically how much distance is there between the text itself, or how wide are the letters themselves. So the font is going to be like wider. And the coolest one is a slant, which is basically italics. So in this case, I'm going to do a 7. I'm going to go for a wideness of how much is that? 60. And then width is just going to be like a bit like this. So then we can select this, make it bigger by simply using Alt and Shift and then moving. If you select Alt and Shift, you're basically, Alt is going to be doing this, and Shift is only going to be selecting everything and moving it always to the same aspect ratio. So yeah, then you just select this, put it in the middle, you get the text in the middle. I don't like the width anymore, so I'm just going to like reduce it again, because yeah, it's kind of cool when it's like thin. Be even cooler if I could make it maybe less. Actually, it wasn't the width, it was a weight. One less weight, more width. So there we go, we have our text. I actually put top 06. God damn it. Can I not have? Okay. Yeah, we're gonna make it a different way now, because since we just changed the text, this is not gonna be applying anymore. So we're just gonna do blending options straight up on the text, which is selecting the text itself, going blending options, outer glow, and yeah, it's already on the same settings. I have this example, which Diamond Enchant Lobby was kind of easy to do. It's the same principle. Use Diamond Enchant Lobbies have like 2 fonts. One of actually the same font, but just this one has different width. The web itself has again the same kind of like effects. Those have different effects, which are more complex, which I could explain how to do. But yeah, you can see what it is. This one too. This is more complex. Like the same thing like on this one, which is taking 2 different photos and morphing them together. Right? So you have the outside of tower, and you have the defense character with it here, which normally this don't work if you know how Rainbow Six works. Yeah, these are 2 different photos. Well, what the fuck? Yeah, you have this example. It's also the same thing. It's just like a photo when you select text, low sensitivity percent. It's kind of cool along the line. This one's way more complex, which I'm probably gonna make a different video to explain, because this requires you to make multiple text layers, and there's a kind of weird effect to do to get this kind of result, which yeah, I'm not gonna get into it yet. I could actually do it just as an example. So example, here we have player, and I want specifically this player to be wider. I want okay, there we go. So example, we have this, right? We're gonna do is duplicate this layer, so Control C, Control Shift V once again, and then on this layer we're going to do blending options. We are going to remove the outer glow, and we're going to do color overlay, which in this case I'm going to select green. Why green specifically? Because green is basically really hard to miss in a way. So in this case I'm going to do 00 FF00, which is practically just, yeah, the perfect green. So once we have this done, right, what we're gonna do is rasterize this type specifically. So rasterize type, and then we're gonna rasterize this one too. Let me do that. Okay, so these are both images now. Okay, they still have the effects, but they're still images. So what we're gonna do is delete the word player from the lower one. So that's the wrong thing. So I'm gonna select the word player and basically delete it from the lower layer. So now there's no more player text, but then we're gonna delete the 06 and the unranked in the other ones. So the word player itself now has no effects. It's just green, right? It's boring as shit and it doesn't have anything. So we're gonna go in blending options once again, and we are going to select something called well, for this to work, first of all, stroke, which then we're going to do a size which is 0.2 pixels. Actually, I could go for something like 3 pixels is kind of fine. So we do rasterize layer style and then rasterize layer style once again. So this whole thing is just images now. It's basically an image. Now we select the magic eraser tool and we select the color green here, which for okay, no, I selected the wrong thing. So we select the green, and it's basically just gonna delete the color green entirely from the text itself. So now we have this, and then we want to add back the outer glow by just selecting outer glow like this, and there we go. We have the 0.6 player and ranked with the kind of effect like this. In this case, it's good, but there's a letter on the arm. Looks like she lost a bit of it. In which case, when you receive a comment like this as a graphic designer, your only answer is... The only appropriate answer to this is basically, yeah. So... yeah, pretty much, that's pretty much it. Yeah, he's right though. She's kind of missing her arm. Yeah, no, she's actually missing a lot of her arm. So let me show you how to fix this kind of issues. So when you have like a problem with this, so example, in this case, we are missing a part of an arm. We are going to use a tool called the clone stem tool, which is basically this. And we're going to press Alt, which is going to be selecting this here. And then we are going to be basically duplicating part of it. It's basically copying whatever is on the cursor itself. So if I click here, when I'm here, I'm basically drawing whatever is there. So I'm just going to be doing this and just closing in this here. And hopefully nobody notices it. Nobody sees it. Yeah, hopefully nobody sees it because it's not actually, like, it doesn't actually look good. But yeah, if you want to add more style like this when you have like an issue with like something you just added, you could just possibly do something like this. In this case, I have a problem with this, but that's not something somebody will notice. And then there we go. We have the 0.6 player in ranked. This has been fixed. This has been done. It looks good to me. I like it personally. Let's see what Saint thinks about it. So we're gonna take a screenshot. Soup. And then we're gonna send this to Saint. So this is kind of the result we're going for. So text, empty text, more text, image, that's a morph, and then we have effects and all the colors. So now you can go ahead and save your project, or simply click on Files, Export, quick export as PNG or export as. In which case, since this is a thumbnail, you're gonna do export as. And now we're going to look at the settings here. So this is 797 kilobytes, which is perfect because it's under 2 megabytes, which is the maximum accepted by YouTube, basically. But if for whichever reason you have a photo that's above, in this case it's 1.9, that's fine. You can reduce the scale, which I do not recommend doing because it's going to affect the quality of the thing. JPEG, which is JPG, is basically going to be a lower quality format. So you can simply select this and use it as a way of saving more space. Basically, it's going to make the image more compact. And now we save it. So this has been exported, and this is the end of the tutorial. So thank you for watching and have a great one.